And a good Tuesday evening to you. I'm First Alert meteorologist David Ernst. Taking a look live here on our Green Bay sky camera. We did have some rain showers push through earlier. Skies were mostly cloudy for a time, but now we're starting to clear back out, and that's a trend that should continue for the rest of the night. Bruce, good to see you on here from Appleton. Hope your evening is going well. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can head over to my Facebook page. It's David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. You can follow me there, and I'll be able to answer any questions you might have. You can send me a message, and I'll post graphics there. Sometimes you'll see them on the air, and other times you won't. Just kind of depends on the event and what we're going into. And just a reminder that it's great idea to have our free WBAY First Alert weather app on your phone or mobile device as well, as you can get custom updates from the First Alert weather team. We can stream live video there. You'll find a link to our website for that. When we get into those kind of scenarios, we can send custom update videos to your phone, and you'll also get warnings and other alerts like that, as well as interactive radar that you can use to track storms as they arrive. But not much to see out there tonight. We've got a little bit of cloud cover, but skies are already starting to clear out in the Green Bay area. This is First Alert Viper Max, and you'll notice that there's not a whole lot happening. Again, we had some rain showers out there earlier today. That activity is now out over Lake Michigan, so we are drying out. I'll show you the wide view here on the satellite imagery, and notice that skies are relatively clear across the area. We're chasing those clouds out as we speak. Now, as we get into the middle of this week, our weather pattern is going to shift into a little bit more of a summertime type territory. We'll see some lower and middle 80s tomorrow. It'll be feeling a little humid, not overly muggy, but we'll get there by the time Father's Day and next week rolls around. We're looking at the potential for highs up close to 90 degrees, and with the humidity tacked on, it's certainly going to feel like at least the lower and middle 90s if the forecast holds. Now, as far as things go for the rest of tonight, skies should continue to clear. Our Wednesday looks like it should be a pretty decent day, albeit a little warm and slightly humid. So let's go ahead and we'll check that forecast with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor here. As we work our way through the night, again, you'll notice that there's not a whole lot happening here. We'll see a little bit of passing cloud cover. Predictor tries to generate a stray rain shower or two, but there's really nothing on the map right now, so I doubt we'll see too much happen. As we get into Wednesday morning, mostly sunny skies continue, but closer to the lunch hour, we should see a little bit more cloudiness arrive, some high thin clouds, but even into the afternoon here, not much going on. Actually, let me go ahead and enter this graphic. We'll set it to the most recent model run of Predictor. I had been going with an earlier run just because I liked how it played things out better. I think the afternoon run looked a little bit too quiet, should we say. What I mean by that is I would expect that we see a round of storms fire up tomorrow across Minnesota, and eventually that would push in, and we'll see how this run of Predictor plays it out. But the one before it, really you didn't see too much of anything coming in, and I feel that the storms will be close enough that it at least warrants seeing them here on Predictor. So you can see right by the wind bug there and the First Alert weather bug, that's some of that activity. Notice though it fizzles as it starts to move in. So that's the most recent run. Really doesn't show too much of anything approaching the area. It's always looked like it would be a late night event, and you can kind of pick out on the other side of the screen a little bit of light returns there down well west of the Dells. So let me switch over to the next radar, future radar product I've got. This will pick up at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, and I believe I've got this one set to the most recent run. Oh, maybe not. Let's enter in here and take a look. Oh yeah, that one is also set to the morning. So let's go ahead and set this to the most recent run. First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, just an FYI, will update 4 times a day. So we get updates every 6 hours, and they run this time of year, 7 p.m., 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 a.m. So it's ones and sevens essentially is when they come in. But this run, kind of showing what the one I would have showed you if you were watching us on Action 2 News at 5 and 6. It was actually the run from the morning. It was the 7 a.m. run showing a little cluster of storms kind of bypassing the Fox cities more so towards the south and the west, and that's exactly where this most recent run puts them. And that's kind of the way guidance has handled this system as we've gone through the last several days. It looks like it would be more of a southern event than opposed to right here in the Fox Valley. So this will be the run that you'll end up seeing if you're watching us at Action 2 News at 10. I don't see any reason to change that up. Lola, good to see you on here, and Kelly as well. Good evening to you. So we've walked you through the forecast there for tomorrow night. I have not updated the graphic from the Storm Prediction Center, and we'll go ahead and I'll show you the wide view on that. I, again, have not changed any of the placements when I turn a slight risk on or a marginal risk, but you can at least see as we start zooming the map in. I'll enter in here and tweak these just so you don't see the wrong categories pop up. But obviously, the yellow slight risk is in there into western Wisconsin, Minnesota. That's going to be where severe weather would be most likely. So I'll pull the slight risk over to the slight risk area, non-severe to the non-severe area, and we are in that marginal risk through much of central Wisconsin. So that's how the risk areas shake out, and I would anticipate that the most widespread threat for severe weather, just as the SPC has outlined right there, is likely to be more so focused on northwestern Wisconsin as opposed to right here. Storms are likely to weaken as they start to push towards the Fox Valley. Nonetheless, that'll be something we keep an eye on. At this point, I'm keeping the severe weather outlook low. You can check in tomorrow morning with Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon. You may well find that it's a first alert weather day with those storms still incoming, but it looks like the heaviest rainfall and the greatest potential for any sort of stronger thunderstorm is going to be focused more so on areas west and south of the Fox Valley as opposed to right on towards the Appleton or Green Bay areas. So we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow night. High temperatures today, we made it into the lower 70s around the Fox cities with cooler readings across northern Wisconsin and along the Lake Michigan shoreline. But here we go for tomorrow afternoon, and we're looking at besting those numbers by 10 to 15 degrees. Looking at middle 80s away from Lake Michigan, and even lakeside and in the North Woods, it's upper 70s and some lower 80s in the North Woods. Going to be a warm day for certain, but also looking like a slightly humid day. Let's see, it's been a while since I've done one of these with the humidity. There's my dew point graph. So I'll show you the dew point trend for tomorrow. Remember, with that dew point temperature, the higher that number goes, the muggier it is. When you're at 60 degrees, that's when you start to notice it. And so that's where we are tomorrow. That's why I'm calling it slightly humid. It's going to be a lower 60-degree dew point as we get into Thursday. It's going to be a little bit more humid early, and then we should scour out some of that humidity through the day. So let's go ahead. We'll take a quick look at that forecast, and we'll talk a little bit more about the weekend, show you a quick preview of Father's Day, and then we will go ahead and wrap things up. So let me change this over to Thursday real quickly. So we'll set that, and you'll see the numbers jump around. Even though it says tomorrow at the top, I'll go ahead and switch that around just so you see it. And so there's no confusion here for anybody that might come across this video later or perhaps just see a snapshot or something like that. So again, tomorrow we'll feel slightly humid with a dew point right around 60 degrees. On Thursday, we will start out feeling somewhat sticky, but that dew point will be dropping and it will be less humid as we get our way into the afternoon. And temperatures will be a little cooler by Friday and Saturday. We're looking at our highs back into the 70s on those days, but tomorrow and Thursday, both afternoons should feature low to mid 80s for highs, then right around average for Friday and Saturday. But check that out for Father's Day and beyond, upper 80s on the board there. So it is going to be feeling quite warm for Father's Day and early next week, and it's also going to be rather humid as well. Let's go ahead and get you your dew point trend through the extended here. So this will cover tomorrow and Thursday. You see the break on Friday and Saturday where it's more comfortable, and then it's upper 60s to around 70 degrees for a dew point into next week. So a very sticky start to that week. Let's go ahead really quickly then and take a look here at First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, the extended run getting you through Father's Day and early next week. It does appear that our weather will turn a bit unsettled, and unfortunately there is going to be a more likely chance for rain and storms on Father's Day as opposed to anywhere else. It looks like it would start up on late Saturday, and then we would see things continue into Sunday, and then Monday things start to wrap up. So here is our European weather model. This is the model run that I tend to go with, or the model that I tend to go with in the extended, although it looks like, there we go, it was a little hot there when it initialized. So as we go through, you notice tomorrow you can see those storms, and again, we'll see something close by. You can pick out kind of two clusters on this particular run. There's one over lower Michigan, and then the other one is centered out over Iowa and pushing into Missouri. So we do see this model generate some rain for the area, but those deeper shades of yellow indicating the stronger storm potential kind of bypasses us, and notice that the cluster kind of splits and goes right around eastern Wisconsin. So we'll keep an eye on storms tomorrow. Thursday looks like it should be a dry day for most of us. Friday as well looks like a nice dry day. We will see, though, on Saturday, clouds rolling in. Saturday afternoon, evening, there's going to be a warm front coming across the area that generates some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and then it looks like that continues on into Father's Day. It may not be raining all day long, but there likely will be some rain around. Now, as we get into Monday morning, most of those showers would be shifting away from the area and into Michigan, although this particular run does hang that rain on a little bit later. But then you'll notice as we get into Tuesday, things are quiet, but you still see those hotter temperatures overhead with 80s. There we are at 4 a.m. and the model is still kicking out 81 degrees. So it's definitely going to be turning steamy next week for sure. We will keep an eye out for any stronger storms late tomorrow night, and we'll have to monitor that potential on Father's Day as well. Anytime you get those temperatures into the mid and upper 80s, it's certainly possible that any storm could intensify. So we'll keep a close eye on that forecast with those incoming storm chances. That being said, I don't expect any one of these time periods to be a washout, although the closest to it, at least at this point, looks like it may be on Father's Day. But as far as tomorrow goes, enjoy the little summer preview. It might be feeling slightly humid, but it won't be too bad, and just kind of a little taste of what's to come. It will be turning very sticky and hot as we get into Father's Day and the start of next week. We've got Action 2 News coming up here in about 40 minutes on WBAY TV 2. Hope to see you then.